Hey everyone, this is Artemis Lore from the Coven page. I'm actually trying this out for the first time. Let me turn this down a little bit. Happy holidays, everyone. And I've been coming out more because I believe that this time of year is very, very important for a lot of people. We have been tested and we have been tried this year. And I've always been about growth, I've always been about learning. And what I'm going to do here is just kind of break down a couple of things that were on my mind. This is not going to be long. Welcome in, and if you are following me from the Coven page on TikTok, welcome. This year I talked about a lot of different things. This was a lot more than I was prepared for, but with spiritual growth, you never know. You never know how things are going to change. So let me just go ahead and set the stage here. I have some Christmas music on, but I want you guys to be able to hear me without me yelling. So for this live, I wanted to talk about the cold moon and the significance for spiritual practitioners for today, December 15th. And the full moon is very powerful. It is a manifestation time. And then after the full moon, as the moon is waning down, we think about things that, we want to purge or things that we don't want to bring in with us for 2025, whether that is like cord cutting, maybe not having, certain things, certain energies around us, maybe even doing like shadow work. Okay. And then also with the trials and tribulations, we'll talk a little bit about Mercury retrograde. A lot of people don't like to talk about Mercury retrograde, but there were some things that did affect people this year. So for the cold moon, and let me just go on my computer because this is actually, I'm not used to going live on YouTube at all. So this is me out to the world. And let me just see where I'm at with that. But for the main part, I just wanted to, oh, okay, here I am. Okay, so I can see you guys in the chat. So let me kind of minus that. Okay, so we got, so that way I could, good morning, how you doing? Okay, there you are. So I'm watching you in the chat so that way I can respond and say hello as well. So I will say hello. Okay, it's nice to meet you. Thank you so much. All right, so the cold moon, the last full moon of the year is today. All right, so the cold moon is also called the long night's moon. Okay, so for the long night's moon marks the last full moon of the year. It's a time for reflection, endings, preparing us for the next year, which is 2025. So we have like 2.5 weeks to the end of the year. Okay, and it's all about kind of just clearing the slate, purging. This is what I was talking about. And if you're saying hello in the chat, you can say hello. I'm here on the computer as well. So if you have any questions, you can ask. It's nice meeting everyone. All right. This is my first time doing YouTube live in probably years. I think I started on YouTube like probably over 5 years ago. And I haven't done a live in a very long time. And I've been coming out more because of the different portals and things that have been happening. And I'm just, I'm just here addressing what is coming to me from the heart. All right. So think about the seeds that you are planting right now for your life. What have you been through this year and how do you want things to change? This is how, when I'm doing spirituality or magic, I think about things like this. What do I want to manifest for 2025? What do I not want to bring into 2025? What type of, if I'm doing some type of spiritual work, what is that geared towards? How is that going to help me in my life? Am I here to just help others or to help myself? What are the things? I cannot speak Persian. I'm so sorry. Only English. Yeah. Sorry about that. I think there might be a translation. Let me see. You might be able to translate this later. So let me just keep going. So let's talk about the main part of 2024, a year of trials and tribulations. So this year really has been a whirlwind for a lot of people all around the world. And for the collective energy, it has been actually really, really heavy. And, sometimes suffocating. I feel like the masses were tested. A lot of light workers came out this year and they talked about, their feel on, how things have been changing for us. Even in witchcraft and spiritual communities, a lot of people are kind of tapping into that energy. And, we have gone through, some people have gone through hardships and losses. So, if you have gone through that, I'm really sorry for your loss. So anyway, so basically this is just all about, this is just all about like reflecting on that stuff and thinking about, how did that affect you? How could you, maybe heal from that? What type of spell work are you doing for healing? For instance, for me, the other week, I went ahead and did like a Mercury retrograde candle spell to release and let go of negativity and also bring in good luck using a black candle and a white candle. So if that's something that you think might help you, you can actually email me. When I finish this, I'll put my email in the links here in the description, and I'll just send it to you for free. If you're going through a lot and Mercury retrograde just really just, put you in a whirlwind and you're trying to figure out how to maybe get into a different energy, I might be able to help you with that. I might not be able to, give you everything, and maybe it'll work for you, maybe it won't, but you can try. All right. So as I'm kind of going through this, how are you guys feeling right now? How's everybody feeling? How is this cold moon treating you? How was your day? How was your week? Have you gone through anything? Have you had some good things happen for you in your life? Is there anything that I can do, to help you as far as spiritually or, spell work or anything like that you want to know about? And that's what I'm here for. So right now I'm burning pine. And I've been doing this the last couple of days just to kind of clear the air, bring in good luck, bring in the winter season. Thank you for the like, by the way, and thank you so much for asking questions in the live. Let's see here. So there are a couple of things that you can do, releasing and letting go. So for me, I do like to write a lot. I do write down, things that I'm thinking about. I will date them or how I feel about. I see that it kind of glitched out. So like I said, I don't usually go live here. So hopefully I didn't lose you guys. But thinking about, how you feel about this year and what type of rituals or what type of candle work you would like to do for that. What are your, what is it that you want to do? You can use orange candles to bring up your energy. If you feel like you've kind of been sluggish and you haven't really had a lot of energy lately and you would like to get more done, orange candles are good for that. I'm burning these this pine right now, pine needles. Okay. And this is really kind of helping me get into the season. Little things like this can be done. It's not always about spells. What's another thing you could do? Some people like to do meditation around this time. I like to do a lot of cleansing baths, reflective work with mirrors and stuff like that. That's something that I like to do as well. What else? Let's see here. Hello. Hi, how are you? Welcome in. I will say hello as well. And, I could practice coming on live and, saying hello to people. I usually do this on Instagram. I don't usually go live on TikTok. I usually do recorded videos for TikTok, and I'll pop in from time to time. Not a lot though. It's really heavy energy there. And I feel like, I feel like there's a lot of energy exchange on TikTok, and we need to kind of watch how we exchange energy with others on these platforms and these apps, especially if you have a goal in mind and you're losing your focus because you're, kind of responding to negativity in a certain way. Yeah, that's something that, I would like to work on for 2025. I don't know about you guys. Now, we did talk about writing some stuff down. That also goes into shadow work. Now, for me, hello, thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right. Hold on one second. And okay, so yeah, like I said, I don't usually go live, but all right. Oh, okay, I see. I see. So I can report that. So okay, so this is if you guys are like spamming the chat, I can report you and get you off. So that's it. All right. Okay. So we'll just keep going. So shadow work. The way that I do shadow work is if I find somebody who I can talk to, whether it's a friend or another spiritual practitioner, or just even sitting by myself and reflecting on my own self and my journey. That is something that I do as well. And also writing down how I feel for the day. So if you had a bad day, a good one to do is to write down how your day was and how that affected you and how you feel that you want to change that. If you have some type of anger or some type of emotion that's connected to that, you might want to address that with yourself as well. Okay. Let me go down in the live and see what else is there. Okay. So that's one thing that I like to do. Also, I wanted to talk about the witchy hacks. So if you go back to my previous videos, I have witchy hacks that are actually different spiritual techniques that people can try. And you can see which one works for you. I have about 3 parts. Okay. That's something that you can try as well. I know I'm talking really fast. I got a lot on my mind. So we have that. All right. Cleansing spells. Cleansing spells are really good. Something that I'm doing right now, which is not necessarily a spell, it's just really smudging. And it kind of helps, it kind of helps with my energy as well. So I would say, smudge yourself. A lot of people, they forget to cleanse themselves, when they're doing like spiritual work. I think is really important, whether it's a spiritual bath, whether it's, being out in nature. That's another way of cleansing or grounding. Burning herbs and stuff like that. Things like sage, rosemary, pine needles, cinnamon to clear your space and your own energy. That's something that you could do as well. Now, before I continue, let me ask if anybody has any questions. If you put anything rude in there, I'll just have to kick you out, but hopefully you don't, so I don't have to do that. So I'll ask any questions. Okay. And see if anybody has anything they would like to ask me. All right, I'm going to pin that up to the top. Okay. And for right now, I think it would probably be good to light a candle. Okay, that's something that I probably would like to do. All right. You popped up as a suggestion, just finding you. We'll watch some videos. Okay, well, it's nice meeting you too. It's nice meeting you too. And if you have any questions, you can definitely email me. And I'll say nice meeting you as well. Okay. And thank you so much for messaging me on here. I really appreciate it. If you want my email, let me put my email in there. And I mean, we can have a conversation here. What is it about? What is it about this that intrigues you? When I first started, I started out doing this for healing, and anger, hurt, and pain, and how to fix certain things in my life. I have gone through a lot being on social media, only because people wanted to test me. People wanted to, test me and see if I was real and stuff like that. I mean, that's normal for social media. Having trolls in the chat, stuff like that. That's normal for social media as well. That's something that I'm actually used to, stuff like that. So right now we have a troll. It's just getting deleted. It's fine. But let's continue. All right. So we talked about shadow work, cleansing spells, manifestation work. All right. So manifestation work, this is actually something that I have done, setting intentions for 2025. But I'm going to say that with a caution. Don't put too much on yourself for the new year. Like, don't overly do, these really high, too many high goals. Because if you expect so much, you don't want to kind of put yourself in I want to say in a little box. You want to maybe have some estimated goals for what you want to do. Now, you can create a vision board. I have done that before. For me, my vision boards would be just kind of thinking about the days or the different times of the year, what they mean. Are there any spiritual or symbolic symbols that I could put on these boards? Okay. And let me just go ahead and get that out there as well. Hold on. Really quick. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and report that. Okay, so now I can't see that anymore. So anyway, yeah, the goals. I like to do the goals. I like to have the goals on there. I'm going to go ahead and redo let me go back into the chat, make sure that person is out of there. Okay, let me go ahead and delete all of those. So whether it's the day, or anything like that, let me hide this user from the channel. Okay, there they are. Okay, now they're gone. Whether it's the day, the moon cycles, anything, write them down on a vision board, what your goals are, candle colors, meanings, symbols, anything like that, and then put everything into action. So for instance, let's say for Tuesday, I know that Tuesday is Mars Day. I would use a red candle for action, or find some type of oil or something like that to cleanse my candle with, or dress my candle with. And let me go ahead and delete that as well. Okay. And I'm going to report that as well. Okay. Okay. All of these are gone. So I'm going to remove that. All right. So all of those are gone. All right. And let me do that. Okay. All right. So that's another thing that I like to do as well. So the vision boards, they really help, because then you can kind of like think about, how you want things to go. Tuesday, like I was saying before I got interrupted, we have a lot of trolls in here because I don't go live much. So I'm just open to the public right now, which is fine. I get swayed, I'll come back. It's fine. Tuesdays are good for action days, taking action in your life. And then also, like I said, candles are good. Red candles for Tuesdays. Purple candles are good for Wednesdays. All right. Purple candles are good for Wednesdays as well. Hey, what's going on? Angeles Carter. Hello. How are you? I'm just talking about the full moon, end of the year stuff. You can ask me questions. Unfortunately, I've already had to kick a few people out the live. So hopefully, oh, you're into Hoodoo. Okay, great. What question do you have? I'll wait for the question. And you know what? I just actually got some more books on Hoodoo. Just want to let you know. So if you have any questions, let me know. I'm still learning myself. Yeah, folk magic. Well, that's actually, from what I know, that's actually the original term. So you are correct there. That's actually the original term. All right. So I appreciate you putting that into the comments. And what questions do you have? I guess I'll start coming on here more. Do you know anything about possible reconciliation work? Yeah, I have actually, that's, for me, that's not necessarily Hoodoo. I actually have a reconciliation spell that I do. You can email me. It has worked, but I would say this. I would say it all depends on the energy and the flow. And it depends on, it depends on the situation. When you say reconciliation, do you mean as far as love, family, a friendship? If it's a recent breakup or a recent, I want to say something that recently happened, the energy is possibly still there for you to work with. So it could be easier to reconcile. But I would say more like you would have to have a forgiving heart too, as well, because that energy can come through and the other person can feel it. That's just from my personal experience. If you're trying to reconcile with somebody that you're still upset with and that energy is something that they can feel, it may not work as well. So hopefully that answers your questions. But I will actually leave my email in the description. Love from an ex some years ago I work with now. He's upset with me and I don't know we were on good terms. Okay, well, you can email me and we can do a consultation and we can talk about that situation and see if it's possible. I can't make any promises, but see if it's possible. And yes, thank you. I wanted to do something small like open communication. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah, that's what I was saying. It might be possible. It might be possible. I can't, I don't make any promises for anybody, but I like to talk to the person. I like to engage with them and see if it's possible. And there's, little things that we could try to open up that communication. So, okay. I'm just getting trolls out the room so I can continue to answer questions. It's okay. I can multitask. Let me see. The only hard part is that we don't have contact. Okay, hold on, you guys. I'm getting the troll out the room. This is good. This is actually a good for me too. Let's see. This is actually good for me to multitask and practice this. Been too long and we can talk anymore. Okay. Yeah. Well, we'll talk about it when you reach out to me. Okay. All right. And there's how much is a consultation? Well, we could talk about that. We could talk about that as well. Consultations, I usually don't charge for. That's really like a 10-minute meeting where you could just go over everything with me. And then if I schedule readings or anything like that, we could try that as well. Okay. Hold on. Let me get the troll out the room. This is fun. This is so fun. Okay. All right. So we're getting through the troll. All right. So are there any other questions? Okay. So I want to know, how's everybody's day doing today for the full moon? How are you guys doing today? And hopefully that will help you. Okay. Just looking at the comments. Like I said, I usually don't go live. So I'm here though. Any other questions anybody has? So we talked about shadow work, cleansing spells, manifestation work, and vision boards. Like I said, for your goals for 2025, I would say try not to is known to troll. Oh, Tarot Destroyer is known troll that everyone knows. Oh, really? Oh, okay. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, well that's wow. They sure do go through a lot. Oh, okay. All right. Well, I'll just keep reporting them. It's no problem. I'm just going to say try not to get your hopes too high, because a lot of times we put a lot on ourselves as far as our goals, and if something doesn't work out, it makes us feel really bad. So I would say, and thank you for letting me know about Troll Destroyer. If you met someone who knew nothing about magic, what 3 starter books would you recommend? Oh, thank you for asking that. Okay, I have a couple of books. Let me see. I also have a book that I sell on Amazon. So this is a basic book. I know it's not mirrored right, but I'll put my links. This is a book that I wrote. It has everything from herbs to different people's beliefs to different type of magic spells, basic stuff, spirituality, a little bit of hoodoo in there, okay, and it just gives a basic breakdown of what I feel about magic, which is why it's called Learn Witchcraft from a Different Perspective by myself, Artemis Lore. You can check that out on Amazon. I'd be willing to give it to you in PDF. I just have to see how much, or whatnot. Or I could send it to you as well. Okay. So that's a good book. But I also like this book is called Lighting the Wick by Sandra Mariah Wright. I really like this. These are some basic spells as far as like candle magic. When I first started, I did, do a lot of candle magic, and I still do, because I wanted to see how this could work for me. So that's a good one, Lighting the Wick. And is it possible if we've been knowing each other since we were 14? Okay, hold on. You said we got to do one more. One more. So let's do one more book. This is one of my favorite books, The Green Witch. If you haven't gotten this book, most people in their spiritual journey have come across this book. This is a really good book. It's more like a herbal book because using herbs actually makes a huge difference in your life when you're practicing spirituality, and the craft. Okay, Tarot. Okay, thank you so much for letting me know about Tarot Destroyer. It is definitely possible if we've been knowing each other since we were 14. Okay, for the spell work. Kind of clarify that for me, please. I'm going to remove this comment. Okay, cool. Okay, thank you. Hopefully that helps. And yeah, I got a lot of editing to do. So I have to practice this. I've actually been practicing going live more on Instagram. That's really, if you find me on Instagram, it's easier to talk to me as far as like texting me and stuff like that, because it's right there in real time. That's an easier way to contact me. I'm usually always on Instagram, and I'm usually available for most of the day. Okay, let me. Okay, so now I'm gonna have to report again. Okay, and then also hide this user from my channel. Okay, and that was okay. All right, cool. All right, cool. Oh, I'm gonna have to put Tarot Destroyer on timeout. Put him in timeout for 24 hours. Oh boy. All right. So what else? But we live in a small city and know the same people, so bumping into them isn't hard. Okay. Well, that's what I'm saying. So the contact, the communication, and being closer to that person, it's much. I have found it that it's much easier. So I'll give you an example. I had a client that wanted to speak and reach out to his ex, but didn't know how to approach her. They were in the same city, always running to each other. But I actually feel like he got cold feet because for a while he didn't see her at all. So I did something like a reconciliation spell for him, and they actually did. They were able to talk and come together. The only thing is the cold feet. So when he had a chance to actually say what was on his mind, he didn't do it at first. And it took him a long time because then he started seeing her more. So something like that is much easier for me to work with. When you have people that are, away from each other, a million miles away from each other, there are things that you can do to still bring people together. But that energy, that love, there's, it's easier when there's something there. So if you have two people that just love each other but refuse to get along, you can still bring them together. But then after that, it's up to the people to get that worked out. Okay. So that's just how I feel about this. Let's see if there's anything else. Anything else? Let's see something. Any other questions? What were we doing? Let's go back to our list. Okay, meditate with the moon. So today is the full moon. What type of things do you guys like to do on the full moons? Like I said, I like to cleanse. I also sometimes do divination work. That's another thing that I'll do, or pull some cards for myself, cleanse my home, cleanse my space, cleanse myself. Let's see. Have you researched druids much? Hold on, let me look. Shoot. Hold on, let me look in the chat. Either historical, I'd recommend looking into. Oh, okay, I appreciate that. Yeah, we should have a conversation. Thank you so much. I have a bit, but not much. I actually have some friends. I have friends all around the world, but they, from time to time teach me different things, especially like druids and stuff like that. I actually have a few friends that, their bloodline, is in their blood. So they will let me know what's right, what's wrong, how these beliefs have changed their lives since they were, through their family since they were born and stuff like that. So it's good. Gmail.com. Here you go. That's my email. I had a chance to speak to him before months ago, but didn't take action. Yeah, see that cold. That's what I was saying about having cold feet. That's what happens. And I've had that a lot. Like I'll do a love spell for someone and they won't know what to say to the person when they decide to call. And they're like, I just want them to call, or I just want them to text. And they'll get cold feet because it's like, oh, I can't believe this worked. What do I do now? What do I say? So it's really about, what I try to do is keep people calm through the process of waiting to see something happen. And then also understanding that this is not about controlling people. This is not about pushing people to do things against their will. This is about opening up the lines of communication to see if there is something that you can work out. Because I think, when we talk about reconciliations or reconciliations and love spells, sometimes we get these confused. Sometimes we get these confused as if, it's like, I'm going to make this person. A lot of times when we do that, it could work. It has worked. But at the same time, how long is that going to last? You want something that's true, something that's real, something that could be talked about and last, for a long time, if not forever. So thank you for Dr. Zeros. Okay, thank you so much for that. Please email me. We will be talking. And I'm also open to interviews, but I have to kind of have like a consultation prior to, and it has to be pre-recorded because I need to know that people aren't, trying to put me in a trick bag and trying to ask me inappropriate questions towards the public. But I am open to meeting people. I am still learning. So for me, I've only been in this 5 years. I've taught classes. I come out from time to time. I've been through a lot during this journey, but my focus has always been manifestation, happiness, instead of, anger all the time, or negative feelings all the time, and how I can use this for more positive than negative. How I learn how to react to certain situations, especially being a spiritual person and not hurting others or hurting myself. That's really what I've always been about. So if there's any other questions, and I have this really high energy because Mercury retrograde just ended, and I've been waiting to kind of come out and, talk to people more and start meeting people. And I wasn't sure if I was actually going to stop and kind of like just shut everything down going into a different part of my life. And this happens to a lot of spiritual people. We start to grow, we move on. But you're just meeting me here today, but I've been around for years, but I'm just learning. I'm a baby witch. I'm just learning these things. And, so I'm still kind of questioning if I want to continue or if I just want to slow down and just have the information out there for people and be available for people through like email or whatnot, or consultations. And, because I feel like we all should learn how to do different things for ourselves. I mean, of course, there's always going to be somebody to help us along the way. I have spiritual guides that help me when I have questions, but also learning how to do stuff ourselves. It's so much more helpful when you're in a situation and you don't know what to do, right? You can do something, say something, think about something, manifest something, or turn something around. I believe that's all. It's all magic. So, but yeah, there's a lot of talking. It's a lot of energy to be live. This is why I don't go live. It's a lot of energy. I need some Florida water. I got to cleanse. Hold on. I'm like, woo! It's a lot of energy. I see now. What a lot of tarot readers and stuff go through when they're live. They get really drained, and they're putting a lot of energy out there, and it's like, whoo, you got to get off, smudge, relax, do breathing techniques, cleanse and stuff like that. Other people's energy, and people are watching. It's a lot. But I figured, hey, I'll go ahead and say something today for the full moon. So if you haven't found a spiritual channel where there are, maybe there's something that's talked about for the full moon, or some type of spiritual message. We had a lot of portals open up this year, and see if maybe that's helpful for you to kind of guide you. I would suggest doing that. Just go on YouTube and chat and type in full moon spiritual meaning, and just see what different people are saying, and if it resonates with you, and if it's something that can help you for the last couple of weeks of our year going into 2025. So do a lot of research and see how you feel about these things. That's what I would say. Okay. Any other questions? I think I'm going to head off here, but I'm definitely going to leave this up. One thing I wanted to say, Yule jar. Yesterday on my Instagram, I talked about the ingredients and me getting the Yule jar prepared. And that's something that I really want to do. I will decide if I'm going to do it live or if it's something I'm going to pre-record. The Yule jar is basically like a good luck jar. Okay. Oh, you have jars? Do you have Instagram? You can go on to, if you have Instagram or if you have TikTok, you can go on there. I kind of cut it down on TikTok. How do you feel about glamour magic, or beauty spells? Oh, fabulous. I actually have a beauty magic book I still haven't released. I was supposed to release this year. I haven't released it yet because I'm still adding on to it. I do a lot of beauty magic, and it really, really helps. But what I want to say about the jars. So if you go on Instagram, I did do a live on Instagram gathering the stuff that I'm going to do or put into my jar. Instead of because usually I just record myself doing it and that's it. Like I don't give anybody, I don't give people descriptions and all of that stuff. And I said, well, this might help people to start getting their stuff together and have their jars together. So if you want that, you can email me and I'll send you my Instagram, or you could go on my website and my Instagram is down at the bottom, and then you could talk to me or whatever. You'll see the live there with my jar and everything I'm going to put into it. Just got to count. Oh, okay. Okay, cool. Glamour magic. Let me go into my books a little bit. I'll give you kind of like a rundown. I stopped writing this book. I was supposed to release it, but I stopped writing the book. But I'll go into like a sample of my beauty magic book. And a lot of things is just stuff off the top of my head that I want to share. So let me go into this beauty magic book since you mentioned it. Well, I call them beauty spells, but it's the same thing. Well, you know what? I don't believe there's a right or wrong way to talk about beauty magic, to be honest. I don't think there's a right or wrong way. Just like you were talking about, we were saying hoodoo and you were saying like, folk magic and conjure. I don't believe there's a right or wrong way. Now, people who have been doing this for years may tell you, hey, this is the difference with this and this is the difference with that. And that's why it's important for us to do our research. But I have a lot to share with you. So first I'll share this, and then I will, I'm going to find this hoodoo deck in this book that I just got. And maybe this is something we can share together and learn from together. I'm cool like that. I'm the homegirl like that. I will do that. But in my beauty magic book, I have, kind of defining our personality, building our self-confidence, rituals and spells for inner beauty and outer beauty. Okay, so a couple of spells that I have done for myself. And also, what you say? Yay! I'm like that. That's why I said get with me on Instagram, because I'm like there all day. You could talk to me. It's so much easier. Self-empowering affirmations, weekly journals, teas, Oh, snake oil. Let me tell you something. I got some scorpion oil. Hold on. Let me find it. Let me see. Hold on. Let me show you. I'm inching away. Hold on. Here I come. Let's see here. Now I got to tell you, I've been using, Jezebel root. I heard about that, but I haven't used it yet. This scorpion oil I've actually been using, and you probably have heard of it. It's really, really powerful. This is some powerful stuff. And if you want one, hopefully, I don't know if you live in the US, but I could send you one. Yeah, I could send you one. So the beauty magic book we can talk about together. There was something else. There was something else that you asked me about. Let me see. And I got sidetracked. We talked about the spell jar. We talked about beauty magic. Well, maybe that's it. Oh, the hoodoo. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on. All right, I got a couple things. I got you covered. Reconciliation and hoodoo. Okay. There is a particular. I want to show you this particular book. Now, I know that, and I'm a girl in the South and in the US. Okay, perfect. I'm out here in Los Angeles. Everybody knows that. I'm out here in Los Angeles, but we'll definitely talk. So the Psalms of David is something that I learned from a practitioner that I follow. That's, basically like a high priest. And I'll give you his name when you email me. You can follow his channel. But the book of Psalms is a different type of Psalms instead of just the King James Bible. I don't know if you've ever seen this. I'll show you the artwork and everything. Yeah, Bible magic. Yeah. A lot of people don't know that, this is kind of something that that I'm into, because I'm always kind of representing more Wicca. And the only reason for that, even though I am African American, is because I like, kind of like getting into the different seasons, the moons, and stuff like that. I kind of use that as a roadmap to help guide me through the year. That's something that I do. It's called the Psalms of David. Look for the red book. The Psalms of David. Let me tell you who this is by. Let me see. Stephen Fremantle. Okay. The Psalms of David. This is a really good book. I've used this before. Okay. I've used it. Have you researched check out the book of, thank you. Oh man. Hopefully now does this chat go away? Because I'm sitting here trying to screenshot. Please email me these books so I can do some research. So I got this the other day. I know it's probably backwards on here. I'm not even going to try to mess with the screen because I don't want to mess up the live. But I got this the other day. Hoodoo Bible Magic. Okay. I got a few things. I'm here to share. What else did I get? A deck of spells. All right. A deck of spells. And yes, I did get some playing cards. All right. And I'll tell you about a couple things that I learned. without having to read something. So at some point, and that's something, if you guys go and look at my book, I actually talked about learning about this stuff, some things through my ancestors that I didn't read in a book. And that really surprised me. I was like, what? Like, I just be sitting here and spirit will say, do this, do this, do that. And I'm like, oh, okay. Let's see. I also got this. Well, okay. So this is a whole thing. I got this. And then I also decided to get the workbook with it so that I can learn the proper way. I've seen different reviews on the Hoodoo Tarot. I figured I could try it for myself. I don't like to just go off of reviews or negative reviews because there may be something in here that could help me. Okay, I'll check that out. I saw someone mention it on YouTube. I heard about that book. Okay. I think with Hoodoo for me, I started with making ancestor altars, and I talked about ancestor altars on one of my videos. That is a really good, for me, when I watched it back, that was actually a really good video because I talked about some personal testimonies of building my ancestor altar and what happened doing that. And that started to open things up for me. And I actually have, let me see. Well, I'll show you. I actually have I learned how to make mojo bags through my ancestors before I knew what that was. That's one thing that I learned. And I'll show you. I know I keep getting up because I wasn't prepared for this. Hold on. Actually, you know what? The one I'll show you is I'll show you this one right here because this is probably one of my best ones. Okay, so this is a good one. I learned about doing this through my ancestors, and just putting stuff together, different herbs and stuff like that. I learned about doing it first, and then I ended up doing some research and I found out what it was. I didn't know what it was. I just needed something. And then it doesn't have to be this big. I've made small ones that I can basically like keep on me for protection everywhere that I go, or if there's a certain type of energy I'm trying to bring on for myself. Like my very first one that I did was a magician tarot. Have to go. We'll email you books. Oh, thank you so much. I'm getting ready to leave too. Yeah, I'm getting ready to leave the live too. I'll just try to find this really quick. But I did one of my first mojo bags was a magician tarot mojo bag to learn how to